kirimanto igi miswanda mwanya ndene ya bunge ya Senate kirikanwa muswanda yo awekana bilewe ya kureta mbesa kiri county assemblies kana kwa ya na autonomy kiri mbunge tia county ndimwe ya manturethirite kusiria maoni andene ya ndigoro ya Kenya tugathenya tukariria mantu mwanya yigi coming events ndene nya county Meru kwina Kasa games chiite and so many other things including besa tia ma county. I do not know what is happening right now nonto ya ka county tramukira mbesa. So devolution year and devolution day kaina thine nyingi atia kana ni thirikari cia maturire meto ni kuibank harani abatu kulukira 23578 number yetu SMS na no thiri nyokera ni abatu kulukira mitandao yetu nkethra nkithoma ntumiritie kura Twitter na mbere rukiro rwari ndi na ABICAA UBICINE ya SENETA Meru AUCELIU Kaime kenda kwethra at least tuchokanirie kanywa na kumenya ura thirikari cia matura na kinya thirikari na chitite kaitene ka karibu sana bwana Kaime.
Thank you. Bwaga sana Edward nuntu bakongwata ugeni rukiri rwega njuki opportunity nkethia mumiru mwire muga no kaire muga nuntu ndakwirira ringi mumiru atiketha gwa rimwe oni betwa Kaimenyi wa Kenoti kuma bothu ku West nditangugi office ya Seneta wa Meru Seneta Kathuri Murungi and ora karanchugo ringi mumiru ugagutimbi jiteri tuiko kana tukiranaga nkae wa ume bwaku na ninkoe bwakwa kidogo then twin the finally tuchithire twije and ntikomenya nikyo ntu you chose kwambiria point na it is true counties becha kwena challenges and there counties
because because Kaime tukenda kwaria uma thirikari cha county cha mukaira percentage kidogo sana kuma national government. But as we speak, Queen county itramukira mbesa from July. Mwaka thaini mid-September turi itramukira mbesa. So, mtu no wachiurie thirikari nene tu struggle, thirikari nene tu struggle, lakini thirikari cha county they are struggling.
It is true, each challenge kwa experienced all over. That is the first quarter, yeah, most of the years. Cha thirikari ni thairwa ina thina mono nuntu maita ya maingi no ithaira counties receive better chichereri especially kiri last na first na last quarter ya mwaka. Kiri first quarter usually challenges chitharo chiri issues chia kukuruka kwa budget na kwa prod budget yu kiri system ya thirikari ifmis na of course kwa line budget na kuthithia arrangement chia procurement na bi it's a serious challenge either ero nuntu bakwa na approval ya auditor general na of course na control of budget, that is control of budget kenda bomba gutumira mbecha so ika challenge ketha kareo tika mwaka juju aki it's almost a bit normal that quarter ya mbere ya mwaka mbecha jarama ingi chikija counties chichereri na kinya quarter mwicho usually you find that quarter mwicho twetete 30th of June ukona mbecha chia muthia chiritonya around 20th 27th 28th ya June where mwana rimwe thirikari ja mwaka juju ne thithirie bwega extended timelines iria batum iria informise tumirekire nacio so uka find John to last quarter thirikari monka almost to around 20th of July bando system ne eranaga ya commodity ta time eu nonto mbecha tia kinyere system ne chichereri so naku operations tia thirikari chitina challenges you de mona rimwe chitomba kura completely nonto you see kwena nto baba inge barabara involved kire process yewe kwachikisha nteto mbecha gukinyanira tinya ishe kwethura kimbecha chi accounting and what have you there is a lot that is involved may it be to land first quarter je tukwariria process yonte tumba komiteka kuma kiririria budget ya national government yakurukirwe kenda counties chumba nande kuthithia budget as per budget ile kurukirwe national government na kigina kiria national government itengere counties then county executive je kalende guru that is muchemani jwa cabinet juthithwe na of course cabinet minister waziri wa kigina at prepare budget bami discuss kiri cabinet bami kurukie ite assembly assembly ita na process ye yonthe monke kuruke ichoke kairi kiri governor achaine ichoke ite kiri control of budget kenda ya approve kiri system then yomba gutumirika. It's a process na process uteka yomba kujukia ntuku ijiri. So sometimes ukethera kure okugire kaichi kidogo which is sometimes beyond human control igukarekagau. But of course moving forward twagwirwo mono as a nation gukiombekaga kwithirwa systems chionde chikiran at the right time na kuthingata provisions ira chiajanikie katiba kenda timelines ira chiasetwa thiguru yonthe yomba kuthwegita na mbere nuntu ukeja gutega between 30 July na mweri juju kinya generally kiri the other sectors of the economy kinya ugeta kiri the private sector there is generally experience ya kuthura ntu bakiuga mbecha chie down bate kuigwa liquid money ge transact as in kithiuruka bwega nuntu rira mbecha chie counties chicherererwe definitely sometimes ukethira kinya kuri payments nyingi mono ira chie pending chicherererwe kuma ge suppliers kuma kiri contractors sometimes it even gets worse wetenya kiri guchererwa kwa michara at least for now Meru tutere experience guchererwa kwa michara for some time kuma match tutere experience guchererwa kwa michara ya ritibangugi which is a plus of course na jaja jariumbikana nuntu bwa of course kwithirwa kwina efficiency kiri paraba pakulitangugi kiri sectors ira chiri involved kiri mantu jau. So to me moving forward maybe the national government should also hype their game na mono itubatere ku challenge parliament, that is the National Assembly itself. Sometimes womba kwithira Senate ekurukirie kigina kira kibatere kugairwo counties somewhere around May gethaja mwaka juju twarikana around May April May Senate already nere gukurukia mbecha ingana counties kibatere kunengerwa but vuta ni kuvute ira ijaga kuma bunge kuma parliament National Assembly sometimes ukethira nande budget ya national government iririkia ngugi towards the end of June itself almost mwicho bururu. Sometimes counties are crippled, okay, not really crippled but of course no monkabaga experience de nanuntu kwara in budget yao na budget ya national it becomes a challenge.
Crippled Kaimenyi ontore ask yourself thirikari ni kwenda kana control of budgets na kwenda absorption ya mbecha chidra iliyotumika ndani ya county. Lakini the last quarter of the financial year you don't better see at the end of June. You see yaga kuna sabotage from the national government, bearing in mind President Ruto Ciaca Na Utongeria na ewete thinera county chithirite experience under the last regimes bechite threisi cherroke thirikari
mbitikiria mbugire mzoiri uga mugara mwera kini akimpe. Actually the current government has really tried in terms of kuremiti becha counties. Before we have been kiri sector for some time now tuitagataga ora mantu ya guita. Actually counties cha receive ga mbecha cha kuota ya mwicho ya mwaka the following year mwaka jo ambiririe ukethira June 30th ni kinyire mwaka jo kuingwa but bali receive mbecha maybe 30th yo utuku iro mbecha cha counties chigotonya cha kuota ya mwicho lingi ukethira nyi chitagarire chieta sometimes July itaitete so thaici kwithirwo inyaba kiejanaga mbecha ire nuntu jachia second quarter mwaka juju athira second quarter chiatonyera around 28th of June then 27th of June chia quarter mwicho chiatonya na nuntu ibeije na ku counties chiari thina kiri ku absorb mbecha of course waziri wa finance wa national government na gwe of course the others that are involved in financial operations you chia national government iba create room your information ketho ekiomba ku operate for period nteri kana the actual days but July towards the end iro information inganere patika gutumira mbecha uche mwaka juju akurukite meaning ibaba provide time ya kumba gutumira mbecha u kena mbecha gitechoka kigina kya ki national government kairi kuma kiri counties. So a lot has been happening of course thina ithiritwo ereo but to me ara turi na arua teo twari miaka 5 ethiri teo twari miaka 7 ethiri there is a improvement kiri kuremeti becha cha county but still I'm saying a lot needs to be done kenda counties ciumba cooperate seamlessly na citena stress, then national government ne batere ku put in place measures ira cigatuma gutuika mbeca cia kuota frani ciri kinya mwambirio jo kuota eu anto at once the end kuota nuntu cia kinya mwambirio jo kuota, then counties cikomba cooperate seamlessly, cikomba kwithura cikiria pending bills ciename, cikomba kwithura cikiachikisha actually tinya kwinama tomba kwithura tugikiua completely icio pending bills nuntu pending bills ira nyingi. I know of a friend who supplied one of the government institutions, actually the national government, parastato, the national government. Na mbeca babatere kuri mbere mwaka juthira ciabindire citagare nuntu bwa thina iwe kwithirwa thirikari mbanjetie kurukire ichereri na kuremeti mbeca cichereri, so uketheri batagaririe mwaka na batagaria ikabindi betere monka mbanjeti eu njeru irundwe betere irundwa definitely netwikire pending bill nuntu nitagarire mwaka jungi. So some of the pending bills ira citinda kwino pending bill day in day out pending bill imwe iasa resort ya kuchererwa kwa mbeca tinya kwithirwa ati ka counties kana those parastatos chikure mokure ya mbeca iu isimpure nuntu remittances ya national government ichikuchererwa gweta nao. So moving forward we actually need to where system wiji or ora bakwenda nande ku implement e-procurement, which is a very good idea to me. I fully support e-procurement. Ora bakwenda ku implement e-procurement gutweka procurement ne kumba kuthithwa na openness ireguru na ndikinya kuremeti becha. It also needs to be more efficient kenda systems chumba plan seamlessly.
According into story ya EGP, you see infamous ya terwanga mbecha cike ikariro na nambi uti change tona ki mantu ya. So someone asked me about ya kumbika national government kaina plan either ya proxies fulani utenda through EGP kuri antu bakwenda kwa decide bako you get the biggest tenders kiri thirikari check out, because it will not be open kiri tenderpreneurs bakawainda kiri county level kiri kuchwangu cha thirikari kuringana na maoni ya the someone who was talking ambira ni umuna kunenkere MTF biashara. So EGP titethia the local contractors kana the entrepreneurs kuthira barena space ya kuona tenders kuma kiri county.
Well, to some extent there is an argument, valid argument, but to another extent that argument is invalid. Okay. Let me quantify my statement. Well, the procurement systems chikethwa chire digital. Of course, mtoro batere kwa apply ngugi mtora we free qualified when documentation chionde ila chibatere kuitajika tuans ngugi fulani. Ukeja gwita naja rokali naja tukuromba ngugi naja chini ya maji. Sometimes nwithaira nuntu turi exchange in between ndwandi na woni nwithaira kuri kamwe twiri nte kuingitie na bando ugeta through nuntu kwina that you know manual operations je mantu ja maingi they are open to manipulations here and there. E-procurement on the other hand igakiwa na ndi challenges ucha kwithirwa bukithithia dubious operations tia kukurukia mtu te qualified, kukurukia mtu te na capacity, but at the same time it is true that ne kurugura window ya ora kugatu nuntu with e-procurement utumba kurigiria mtu Kisumu gutenda kirengo ge Meru County, utumba kurigiria mtu ri Mombasa gutenda kirengo ge Nairobi County. Nuntu e-procurement is open to every Kenyan as long as are qualified. So again kwina kawindo gakurugo kau komba gutuma ngugi fulani maybe some tia kinyarevo fulani gwatweka chikas kiu ndio ra chikajukwa ni a specific section of people. So again ikinyayongwa thirikari ne karega gutumira ikarega ku isen burden kire antu nuntu thina nio naru biashara. Another promise iraruto atoete agikuruka thirikari ne ikwajikisha ikwajikisha baruga nyingi ira ciendekana kenda umba kwa paliti biashara chikumba kuletwa under one roof kana chumba kuletwa under one sector gutwika utigwitaji baruga nyingi na aro kenda oran kambuni ya construction uritaji baruga kuma gi county ugaitaji baruga kuma ki registrar companies ugaitaji baruga kuma kinema ugaitaji baruga KNCA ugaitaji na timu ugaijiri yani wataka kuona mtu ujo kenda omba kurani kampuni ya alitaji baruga close to 13 sometimes even more than that. So kenda omba kuona baruga iji chionde it takes a very big hassle. So system iji again eka implemented without some other inputs kuma ke national government ya tomanto fulani baraba kuomba ku maneuver systems yu kuona baruga chionde kutuika ibonga akiba kuona ngugi. Actually it might even create a situation where inyangu gira toendaga chitigerwa youth people living with disability na women again chituika chikajuka wane antu fulani nuntu antu babethi na ekuru na antu babe na disability ibo babe na challenge ya kuona baruga ira nyingi ira chikwendekana. It's a serious issue, but e-procurement is a good idea for as long as it will be implemented in the right manner. No tukataka kinya example tukwaja na infumis. Infumis ne kiwere mono issues tia kwethirwa kwena leakages nyingi kire uri bwambecha. Ne kiwere to a great extent. Ne tumire gwatuika kwena some kind of openness kire tumire bwambecha tia muingi. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that KQR completely, for example, kwa ghost workers. Still, kule sectors chikurana ghost workers. But at the end of the day, you are able to detect that kule ulibutete, and that is why kile dirigaleje la kuro kile ya Meru County. We were able, whether one of the cases ile chiketu Senate. Ikorea antobali bakana ndirikana the actual figures it's quite some time lakini ikorea kwa anto na manyo pero antoba baba ingi saindi na antoba kwa ni hapa kutabakiongelea
more than 100 million
more than 100 million. So you are able to detect nuntu the moment ibuetere korea na njara then everyone is able to ask a question how comes bote kwenda kutumira system ila che provided. So from there somebody becomes more keen imbie gukarika kire uri bubu imbie gutomba bolega kuthingata procedure siri patere boega. So the moment somebody becomes keen they are able to detect that simply because there is a system. So narua we cannot run away from the digital operations tia the goreto itete move more digital. We are actually kinya woni na wogwenja chietu kinya mantu ne jara tukuithia jetu ja kawaida we are unable to run away from the digital world. So to me para bakorega e-procurement nunto simply kakiriti anto fulani baya ja wangu gecha account ile anene na ambi it's not a very valid argument. The argument should be mbere to implement make sure that other sectors are able to run seamlessly gutuika guti muntu ka ingiro ome wonde ore kwenda kwithira ali part and parcel ya kujukia biashara. But it's a very good idea. It is an idea that if well implemented ikatedia thiguru yetu ku save a lot in leakages ila chikumara. Nuntu ya able to know from e-procurement tukomba kumenya barabara fulani ya nenkerwe kampuni egwetwa this and that iri imbe chingana uju. So kinyaba utu wananchi tutea iri itwe tukomba kumenya tukomba gutaka tukorania umali barabara iye ne kinyetie vali eu. Nuntu where we are ended as a country, I'm sorry to say so, it is we are ended to answer direction teaching kame puti ate nuntu narua we are talking about mega project. Ka project kapa kalenge kwa toto becha to kayo kale kwa toto mabecha jama ingi. Sometimes you sit down and ask yourself, really is this real? Okambire kuri amu ko just mitu ya iditire yo akuru kale wije. That is why to some extent in president an argument variant ni ora tutije kethiri genuine kuma nkorone ere kuga thirikari tebatere kugura karamu ga chiringi 20 na chiringi kana na njire kira gigatuma tumenya karamu ga chiringi 20 kenderio 20 procurement nuntu narua urita we toka igwa ndekera ntika kuti any specific project ndakaraje kako mtu ndina thina nwe but we were somewhere with some people somewhere to ethra project yemwe implemented in the national government na toro murandi juju tutumerete milioni magana jairi na nditorania ri nyomba ya ndiri by 40 around 100 by 40 nyomba tu yakitetie gutegintu kingi nyomba ke yaki uga inyanto bate kwa kanja chia obana ukona mtu akite nyomba ya ngorobe nene nthongi ithuki kabisa no kaigwe tumirete anga milioni 10 anga milioni 7 indi nyomba tu just a skeleton irongi tu ne imbona mabati simple
ballooning of the BQ.
Ballooning of the BQ kote bingi. So actually somebody was asking lili akinya murandi jugweta jatatu katangaso jokatumira mbeche ingana ile BQ ya chorero murandi jukenda jo wa mbeche ingana ile public participation ya thithirwe kena jo menyeka murandi jujwe capable of mbeche ingana. So to some extent we also need to be careful as a country. I have to be genuine. And I have nothing against anyone. But we have to be careful. You have to implement the procurement again.
No, you should not be forgiven. It's opinion.
And I shouldn't speak so no. It's opinion, yeah. Itopatere kwa careful. Tuteka ikede neje turare neo kire manual operations kire procurement. No tutuka kamata the neje chire kire manual operations chigeta kire procurement. I am telling you chigeta chire more worse. And the rest we Kenyans become faithful. Chigeta chire more worse.
So on that, kuthira mbeca kaimeni kura kiri citizen ukaibambeti chaurianga 10 billion chaurire. So twegarinyaga tukuruta corruption kiri manyo way twamirete in the digital way.
But the good thing with the digital, you are able to tell ningana chaura na chaura atea. So guteki ntoya gwichira nuntu kwena footprints. Yani kwena digital footprints betekiria ntumereria twari kwena njere ku trace that
so ndamenye chaurire nifanye nini
kumenya ke is a plus nuntu narua with this manual operations cha kweja na tenda you are unable to tell itendere kunere ku yaurire itendere kunere ku cheirwe nuntu turari na mirandi mingi kwami ku kwingi mono but utikumba kumenya murara kebaso arathiurukite the whole of the country etagarunga mamurandi-ine agatwira murandi juju jura enkeri milioni 500 jwari wa milioni 500 twinde Kenyans tuka surprised ile jwarirwe nuntu murandi tutamenya jukiriwa murandi tutamenya jugitengerwa mbecha tutamenya jukithirwa public participation tutamenya tendering process ikithithwa imurandi akijo jero atangaswa ithirikari ria ya kurukire kanengi igita fulani jogo tangazo ni urugono ruru athirira ariku batugira tweterete fikethiri barabara tweterete so that you ingetu to involved kirecho but with procurement ikombo tutedia from a click of a button oni nkomba kungugu ntege barabara ere ya ni gweturi inenkeri mbechi ngana process ya tendeu ya kinyana istinjire kuturi earewa from a click of a button nkomba kumenya murandi jojo kuri wa mbecha then as a Kenya ngachuria atiri jwari wa maybe 60% ya value ijo kinyete 60% jujungwa kethra rejo tekinyete then kamenya kuri no kora body involved somewhere no mbethro gote action nkomba goteki but ndi kumenya information is power with that power I will be able to make I will be able to make the decision at the ballot.
Ndirathoma gatheti oro rukire ya mboni kuri na antu kiumbe bari in charge ya system cha thirikari either citizen ire manto NTSA when digital processes ire nyingi cha thirikari ire kana kuri antu bena access kwa tuka kaimeno ri in charge ya NTSA igo kumya manto ya miunda so uworea we mtu kiumbe nuko me details chako tionde na thirikari batu kwethira atia ibethira kimenya so are we selling our country kire anto private because kwino bwa bwingi ukakuthira muntu nawe takarante access details cia Kenya kamenya mukenya fulani ena kintu fulani ena miunda fulani so inya miunda ye kwegenda kwiyo ri
ande tunathina ya ndiguru nuntu
na thirikari ni ukaneriwa uteantu ntu about but the reality on the ground irigana kwena antu key people
yes
company chiantu kiumbe ikumenya ni chiantu kiumbe iti ku run system chetika
na baingoge
chetika
baingoge thirikari you know it is quite funny nuntu at the end of the day system iji thirikari gutumira ti thirikari buildite
it's private
nini it's private developers
yes
these private developers baka come into partnership na government na ndikira thirikari batare kuthithia tikurana away from the fact that private companies ichikuthwachi part and parcel implementation of some of these projects na systems kaba batare ku face the truth kukethwa systems ira chiputeto in place to make sure that these private developers take misuse data ya Kenya then ichi kuthingatwa tuthereta nuntu at the end of the day kuli mantu ja maingi thirikari tiumba kurani without the private sector being involved. For example, to develop a system, government by itself it may not be able to develop serious systems by itself. Nuntu sometimes you find thirikari na system ingana kurani apart from this procurement.
Ziko
mingi all over citizen infamous thirikari rana inyogeta universities tirana na systems. Most of those systems are not built by the institution themselves. Systems ira nyingi kachithithiritwe private sourcing. So tiathithirwo private sourcing gento kira kibatare kuthithwa ne agreement ire gwikwa between the private sector na the public sector is very clear that gote loophole ira yomba kwa misused by the private developers kana agents bao. Otherwise it is not a bad thing kwa thirikari gitanaira kugina the private sector may it be implementation these systems on any other project. No, to at the end of the day thirikari does not work in isolation. They na ke irire information ye mukenya gutwika misused. No to John Toru turari na issues cha citizen angambecha jikura kiri citizen
angairira account ne muntu yako ya mbesa hii love yeta thirikari.
That is wrong. No to at the end of the day kira private developer batera go provide this system. They
run system.
Aburi go provide the system. Then aga train agents badirikari cooperative system wiji. We akedo angugewe no either are part of the maintenance team for some time. Of course to kinya barabara ukaaka kwene gitariro batare ko maintain kenda ya bwakikisha ni kinyete standard ire onenkeri waka.
What if thirikari yako urero system wegu wo kurekaneneo wananunua paketha ire under custody ya professionals bathirikari uwoka kutuga ute connection winio but under thirikari wano umiran
but utomba kuruma ko provide system. You know, I'm looking at a situation where kinyana ajuju wetu behind the scenes to systems to kugeria kurani utomba kuruma kuleterwa system and develop to ne endwan agutigira achietera umba kumirani nuntu you know kwena back end kwenye dante wa IT nkomenya at least kwena issues ja back end na the front end kwena binabi operations huge on there utomba kuruma kumenya mbi endwa die kirite ku na maintain system is not a matter of kuona bila ikuona nya kwa mbere inyana unyuma inya behind the scenes inya coding na bibio bila biguitajika ke story they are part and parcel of maintain system. So kira after endwa and athithia supply kire thirikari ya system kaburi kwithwa na a specific timeline ne gitarenga na batare maintain system weu na go train agent pa thirikari barabara involved kire kumirani within a specific period of time, of which that period of time kedri system we kuthora ni ambecha ja citizen teke bwiri kuthora ikithora na ile ambecha account ine endwand apana ibatire kuthora ikithora na ile ambecha account ine thirikari endwand agitegaga ne kumba kuthora ni ora mithithitie atrain agents ba thirikari kumba ku observe nteto ichi kukarika then igitare awere athira of course and over system completely na kinya maintenance completely no tunande na rekire gutrain baraba bwiri kwa concerned unless something comes up that is beyond control ya baba ire ndo andi abatere kwewa a different job all together ya kuja gutega ketha system ni kumba gwita ore batere
origana gwena gutani chiareo a private developer a contract kunanga na software mahali fulani yare state house alafu akarukwa au eta kutheta thirikari. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, it happens but buge with the current senate that we have senators have really tried a lot kuona systems cha thirikari ni chikwa
au ni watu wetagi senators
yes they have tried a lot kuhakikisha sheria ira bako build ichigo skuma thirikari kuona system chao ni chikurani actually right now as we speak Senator Kadhiru Murungi ena plans cha kuthingata specific system kuona niki jontu itiromba gutethia mwananchi mbecha ira cha kuriwa asara ya riria into bya kubia nyangwa ni nyomo cha mwitu maybe njogu bi outcomes anto betu batiromba kuona utethio completely da kwina mbechi ira chitha chitengichia those kind of issues na anto betu batiromba gutetheka pamwe babara baririrwe into biao maybe miaka iri thatu ine ethiri bandu no bakukurukira asara simply ni untu batomba kufindiwa ni thirikari into biria batere kufindiwa, which means there is some gap somewhere. They are following up those issues kena antu betu gutuika bate kurus into. So all we need him to onde kuitangugirere yawe. No, sometimes you get a situation where ngogine iriti maybe for example yewe compensation ukethra agents bathirikali on the ground ibetereva value go asara ibetereva ojuriria documentation sira chonde chibatera kujurirwa kimurimi na bathithia ngugi yawe thira then they are forwarded the issue taba escalate eta na reba tere escalate yeta, but from there ukethra the next person urona enkererwe maybe person or persons ukethra unto bo batere kujukia a day or two ukethra bojukirie inches miaka na miaka gukira wa information ewire desk in end one for example kana desk in so and so that issue is something that senators are trying to address, not in one sector more, in so many sectors iba kugeria ku address those issues na ni unto nabo ngogea mbungete implementation itself boy oversight just to offer that oversight and the questions why, how comes issues are not able to move kinyakiri desk this and that, maybe compensation yete komba kurani yarikie kuma kire county level ngogewe kuthira ya nenkanirwa from there you are unable to tell what is happening na antu kaba kuendelea kumia at the end of the day. So it is something that they are looking into kuona antu betu iba kuona value ya mbecha chiao.
I saw somewhere senators bakwenda kwa powers na powers ziba kwenda kwewa ya kachiumba contradict tia National Assembly na kukethira kwina kuche nyingi muno kia chairman to igi ukinyerera mirandi mwanya kana mawatho ya thirikari. So should Senate be given more roles and powers kile to igi the legislation oversight?
Yes, I totally agree. Ukaja gutega kile the two houses mugara mwena akimpe ukaja go compare the two houses in terms of registration, in terms of oversight. Senate has been outstanding. Kire kuitangugia yayo, especially when it comes to oversight. Senate has been very effective enough. Monko kambiria kuigwa baraba bakutweka oversight and issues. A lot of issues. Nonto, you know, mbejete kuliarais Kenyans do not want to be accountable. Iba kwenda responsibility, but they do not want to associate that responsibility with accountability. I don't know how it happens. So, nonto leta watoka edra mtu no wengo chitete eta aromba gite frani, maybe for example aromba gite executive office gite kebatere kuonditwa imwana inchi kebatere kuonditwa ya another department but rire orwa kiuria kegeni na that sector the gukambiri bakambiria kugya issues na kurwa biuria biu. So Senate has been effective kire oversight law. So I totally agree that Senate ni batere kuongerwa powers na inya norito kiri operations tiao beyond irebe national arua, beyond ku oversight county, beyond ku oversight national government just by in a blanket bombe kuithwa bari part and parcel ya kinya vetting process ya some of these agents by national government. If they are part and parcel vetting process ya kwa kwantu, you know, those people feel more accountable kiri anto baraba bari kiri that conveyor belt ya kuba kurukia monka bakinya position inera no ntuike to miokethera nyuma aja tumite nurona waziri eti bunge ine either of the two na waziri bakarega gwita, especially in the last government thirikari ira kurukite 2017 to 2022 there were serious problems. Waziri agetwa tirimo kaja thatu na akarega go show up kire bunge kire kamite ire mwitite simply no to ate kuigwa the kakamete eu na inyengani ya kumoria biuria, but with the effectiveness ya especially the current government, the current Senate, at least we are seeing things trying to run smoothly. So ningwe tekiria completely Senate ni batere kongero powers you kenda bethro bari part and parcel. Look at for example ile kurali na maandamano ya Gen Z. Senate moved swiftly kuhakikisha bagwita IG, bagwita waziri wa interior, bagwita kwa yanto bari ndivudi kiri ngugeji kuhakikisha baguchoke biuria na umoko na biuria bila bimwe bila boragwa. You feel like actually these people are asking serious questions only that they limited kiri kuria biuria biu. What happens beyond the questions? Sometimes it is beyond their control. No ntokuma au ndira kuonanya kwena laxity kiri operations tia department fulani. Whoever goes to clear that laxity, te mwene kuria biuria. Ojo ali limited kiri kuria biuria yake. Atenda kuimplement ora kukiwega kali ikathithwa kende i recommendations bomba kwejana improving here and there change yajuju najo kenda manzo yetu jabwa lakini bateta go change bible. So I agree, totally agree that Senate ne batera kuongerwa powers kenda ntegure yetu yomba kurane smoothly. Now and the kuriara is among other issues ira Senate thaitie kwando there has been challenges nyingi mono igoro intrategete one of our national media houses kurali na discussion ya Ministry of Interior na ndaigwa waziri Murkomen akiaria uga ibaruite na mandatory completely then especially Kerio those sections ya northeastern ibaruite na mandatory almost to kudhiria completely mandatory na bakawenya michinke cho kwa nambi so many issues but indra muthikirite kinire auga party muira batigere na thina. One of them he mentioned ni Bunda ya Isiolo na Meru, of course where we are also affected bautwi janto betu. One of the issues that have been very major ikwethirwa kinyanto baraba yiri nyomo chiao kutegi ento bomba gutetheka nakyo bamwe bao livelihood chiao chika destroyed completely
compensation
na batumba gutweka compensated. One of the arguments actually before the Senate today chief sponsored in Senator Kadhuri Murungi is to find a way ya kuona antobaraba yiri nyomo chiao kumane na kato restoring kumane na budgetary they are able to be compensated by the government but restored back kiri uturo bwa kawaida kenda bomba kwa assimilated again kiri society na kinya bomba gochiwa by part and parcel community. So to me the current Senate again as I was saying has been effective kiri kuona utedio kiri anto betu.
Yes. So tell me this you both nether champion kinyamantu ya county assemblies kunenkerwa mbesa. Now essence ya county assembly kwa autonomy mishara yona maybe allowances yona mishara ya imbi utethia be mwananchi wa kawaida.
County assemblies kwa autonomy etethia mwananchi actually directly in a very big way. Number one, responsibility county assembly iria menja ni thatu. Ya mbere registration kuthithia sheria. Without financial autonomy sheria imwe chiria papatere kuthithia sheria chiga affect the executive itself directly. Sheria chikuba skuma. Sheria chikuira chikuinya kinya munene. Na munene ojo no we na control ya mbe chiria bature kuriwa. So ukarikana thirikari ya kurukire ajo anto bara bari very vocal kire county assembly they suffered a lot. Ukaigwa assembly MCAs kinya national government irekeretie mbecha the whole assembly ekathiria mieri 3 ine 5 batali wa michara yao simply ni untu mbecha chiriro wa kuma kire executive na executive ne kwenda kupapanish. Other times ukaigwa assembly indikana igitari mo assembly etete training I think it was Tisend or somewhere betete training chia assembly na ore angava nora wari thiuruka miru akiba kinyanga mono akiugo ora beta kwinyangia becha cha mumiru and it is something that is budgeted for kenda bomba kuita ngugi yao effectively. Eno to simply becha chiriro kuma kire executive however much chire budgeted for executive ne kumba kuchi manipulate and there. So financial autonomy ya county assembly ne kunenkera assembly inya ya kumba kuthithia sheria effectively batego kira repercussions iria chikauma kuma kiri executive ngugi ijire ya assembly apart from kuthithia sheria ku oversight mbecha iria chijite kiri kuma kiri national government na kinya local revenue governor ore orari uringi atio gamuri kiuria buraeja automatically enemies. So ugo gugatuika sometimes ukethira benefits iro batere kwa kuru. You know, the fact that these people are elected does not mean they are not entitled to any benefits. Ngogira baitate mbetekire ntumire mugambo yo tumairwa na uome. You know anto mtu enda kuga ngugene free bauga te battery ngogira itawa te battery. I don't know why they are associated by that. Maybe no battery bachita na iria gochia no theri. That is why people put it like that. So ngogira te utheri. Ngogira however much ngugira mwananchi na ere gochia jana, of course they go outside their way, but at the same time there is some benefits that is accrued from that. It may be financial benefit, it may be other benefits beyond finances. So sometimes the executive is punishing these members simply because ibagweta kuria biuria birabi batere kuru on behalf ya mwananchi. So again, financial autonomy ni kunenkera this MCA inya ya kuomba kiuria atena ugwa completely na kinya gete takethera antu bawe bali kurukira thine iriku atikira kuria thine eu atikira kwera thirikari and you are not doing it right. Simply no that financial autonomy. Money is money because mochonko akiuga money is a source of all evil. So without money you are exposed to evil. Actually even with it to some extent you will be exposed to evil, but it is lesser. Without money ora we nachio no we na power che gukuinire nunto. You know the moment assembly crack etre adithia na raisi bejiria chonde chibatera kule watu once the assembly na bana enkanire kiri waziri wa finance na ngavana bategwetekanire na that assembly me ngavana agatura mwirite kinyira but today out of bill which Seneta Kathuri Murungi championire ne kuruketwe ka sheria kira kwa county assembly noe accounting officer wa mbecha chondire chigutumirwa ni assembly are accounting officer they are able to manage themselves. Barethro ingare bakwenda walikana Meru County Assembly ikenda go procure system injero ya was it Ansand ntekulika boy but I think it was Ansand ntelikana boy if I'm wrong let me be corrected. I think it was system ya Ansand na mama thiuruka akiuga antu baba barenda ogura system ya milioni igana iji ndengi kia barabarene but imbecha cha County Assembly techiagu tembecha chia barabara yu imbecha chia operations chia County Assembly na assembly ne batere operate without Ansand but we go keep records chia transactions chia assembly na ni records chia batere kwa kept actually kinyoga eta assembly area sitting embere area thithirwe Meru County Assembly ukethira i documented na ete batere kura so guya gutwira ngambechi yu ite batere kugura Ansand chia batere kugura ngaba kuthithia barabara history ima cinema. But kunengera this assembly financial autonomy ni kuba inya ya kuthithia what needs to be done kena mwananchi obakona services. Ngogi assembly tegweta kuthithia implementation.
Yeah, true.
Implementation ni executive. So iji chichia assembly, legislation, oversight, representation, they are able to run smoothly no ntobena they are able to ibakumba kuimanage bobongwa na mbecha chiao kethiri committee meetings chibatere gwetewa where needs to be attended but then witaji gweta gocho approval no to sometimes and I always tell people this ndira bwathura mheshimiwa teka batere ko muingira anga boigwa anga committee gwetete kuthithia muchemani America bugi mbecha chenu beta kwenyangia they need to go there te nyaba thithia muchemani yake you need to expose them kiri opportunities yingi irapomba kuleta kiri antu nuntu. I was telling somebody the other day lira mheshimiwa auma aya wetu beta muchemani for example America a smart person akauma America ena achore badato achonku achore badato omba gwita ruju kana okay akabera ntethie ni gocho andona wakweja guntetheria antu bakora rokali na ruju indi muchemani agwitete but biria thitherie mtu smart is beyond meeting. So financial autonomy gives them some freedom ya kuomba cooperate without much of stress, without na so therefore kila batu tubatera kuthwa tukiba inyairia na ndikuma we need to feel your effectiveness. Nuntu na you are financially autonomous. Bwina inya yonde bwina powers chionde gutubu control it. We need to feel your effectiveness. Kiri uritu bwangu gi. Nina inkaranku ga kairi MCA wa wako, I need to feel your effectiveness now. Without me as your as your constituent, oni nte kuigu effectiveness yeku, then mwananchi atigwa financial autonomy rari na gitumi. Kena mwananchi igwa financial autonomy na gitumi, iyo litenguge monka mwananchi ago feel. Thene ira chikuona mwananchi oku ochiurie biuria time and again utegukira nuntu gutowetete gukuinjira inwe. So it's upon us. Na nina bokobera na ndi teke batere kuthwa twiri just a system to run smoothly. Ali bona financial autonomy ni obutera ni ombere do things right.
Wow. Now Mero of late nithirite na mantu maingi muno yethete yekinyanira na iyo ndrone rikurari kuina inya assessments yara gov kianikia gov kia strip street launch kakoromone ne ita wakwa level 5 into bibi ke yokinyanira kaime Mero gedrete level eriko
into bibi ke ja gukinyanira how I wish bi gakinyanira ruaru into bibi ke ja gukinyanira Meru then get to the randa eu yongwe gutweka city, you know, dream almost every rinda today in Meru ne how Meru becomes a city. Now so many people might be asking why a city. My friend ukenda kumenya why a city ndio tegembanje tira Nairobi City County inayo, ndio tegembanje tira Mombasa City County inayo, ndio tegembanje tira Nakuru City County inayo,
Kisumu
ndio tegembanje tira Kisumu City County inayo, ndio tegembanje tira Eldoret City County inayo. That is Uasin Gishu Eldoret nuntu bwa kuthwa Eldoret ire county utege I budget ngana ba kuthwa benayo kinya World Bank ye ja kweja na mbecha cia kutetheria municipalities. My friend, cities attract more funding, whether from private investors, whether from public investors, whether from the government itself. Cities attract serious funding. So kuona bautwe Meru County ina project una chiga kinyanira kuma witithia Meru level 5 to level 6 na arua kenda Meru yuma level 5 to level 6 dirikale national government yejete ku invest ku a total of 1 billion total yambe yejete ku invest ku bere process yewe kinyanira bere yuma level 5 yekinya level 6 bere ma 1 billion ne yejete ku tonyo arura 1 billion yewu ikeja tha hizi na ngugewe kambire Quran kinyethera I ministry of defense yete Quran of which wanajeshi bakeja gwita ngugewe tukaigwa impact embeti ukire society kire community yetu. 1 billion is not a joke. Airstrip not airstrip but golf club ikeja arura kieni ne kira barete te gutega egoro nara showground goka kwa golf club. My friend, golf club ya attracta anto serious. Ache diba golf teba KAIMENYI na bayendu anti. Nyanko orwa stick ile golf yekwata antiuga. Is serious people. But the word serious people does not mean I'm not serious, but serious people I mean in terms of investment. And the raba cheda golf, my friend, teba 6 digit investments. Teba 7 digits investment. Na antobena more than 10 digits investment plus. Now, you bobo na time with golf clubs.
Pakiraito, former president.
Na ndiko bakwetera malido na bwana.
No, we have seen them play.
Ibo, ibo baraba cheda. Da beche bakaja kwambire kuchethera Meru. Tukwambire gwitinya baraba gwitochethera golf club cha Mombasa, bambire kujochethera Meru.
Kana baraba ithera
baraba gwitochethera na Nyuki bakaja jochethera Meru. Achunko baraba kuma na ruraya bakaja kuchethera golf na juju, bakwambire kujochethera Meru. Kuja kwao it is opening their eyes. Maybe antoba bengi beta bakiuga macho yana pasia. Utu beta ingi medo. They will be seeing opportunities in Meru. By virtue of seeing opportunities in Meru means attracting more investments in Meru. So it is a welcome thing. kuona turi na golf club Meru
airstrip state road drone PS Gitonga akiwa authorize soonest possible.
Yes.
Guithire
kwambiria. Yes, that one I totally agree with it. Itubata kuthona twina golf club, tubatera kuthona twina airstrip, I'm happy that one of the airstrips ira chikwarirwa ne Gaitu, which is in settlement gwetu, ya Metungu, which is in South Imenti, kieni kia ndege. Today I saw the other day Senator Kaduri Murongi akiuria in the Senate about Isiolo National Isiolo Airport, which is a plus to us in Meru. Mtu no nikio mtoto kugweta Isiolo. Actually Isiolo Airport is a half is in Meru, a half is in Isiolo County. So Isiolo Airport inayoonga ni investment to batara kwa area. If Isiolo Airport as in a runway kungana today eu era wanyo in a challenge. Isiolo Airport igakirwa runway kungana na arua issue simu inyira to ina chochia mira na arora turi chiomba gutauka no ntutu kuona avenue ya kukamatira ndauga anko anda tumira mira iri one of the mene kwenda gukamatangwa na speed nyankurukia into binge bionde. Isiolo Airport ikaruguka na arua ndege imwe ire chiokinya JKIA na Wilson Airport na arua tikethwa chirira ndi Isiolo is a very big plus kere bautu ja Meru no nto kago chietu into biria perishable mawa tera ja kuma timau mira yetu majani chai jara ya gwita Mombasa jamwe into biu bionde bido abieka matero from Isiolo Airport bigeta thoko directly inya challenge ira nto for example we have a new market ya mira in Djibouti but monkala hii etroba kwendia simply because we do not have an airline ekwenda gukamata mira kuma Kenya with Djibouti. If Isiolo Airport is open today bautu ja Meru tuambiria ku negotiate na antu na u chini ya maji Meru ina antu be connected boega na batere moko thithia to negotiations in the here and there kuona direct line ikuma Meru itete kuikia direct kemera kiria Djibouti nuntu narua ya line ile gukamata mira kuma Kenya ni Ethiopian Airline, of which with Ethiopia is one of our competitors kiri urimi bwa mira. So ketha ni Ethiopian Airline ukamatari your competitor we na have ni gukamatira na ataka kurekeria wita ku explore thoko chiawe. So it's a Isiolo Airport ikaruguka yethro a plus, a very big plus kiri ba utu ya Meru na it's a thing to batera batu kutha tukiomba ku explore kenda nthiguru yetu yomba gukura na Meru yomba gutuika greater as we wish to.
How do you say about Meru beating Kisumu kiri coast Kasa Games?
Wow, I'm happy. Mwaka juyo to attracted mantu jamane. The other day turali na music festivals Meru kumatia primary, secondary, universities, colleges chonde chirali goko. My friend economy yetu within those days cash free ya thiuruka mutindo jojo te goko. Inya gatara ngari ubetero rira banyunyaga goko gwetu mpasi uti kithiuruka is a lot of money. Nyomba iria cia kombori kumamo ne aritani na bau banje bonde is a lot of money. Chukuru chietu tubeje tura attracted kidogo yende anuntu bwa ana baraba usta kwaku is a lot of money. A very big price kiri economy yetu ja Meru. Again Kasa Games chiejete cia county chio the 47 chiejete Meru is another big price kiri bautwi investment toka igwa nuntu baba bejete na ndi nyi bara bena kanyamu boega. So we expect they will also be local touring. Bakiumaji bakwenda gwita kuona national park, bakwenda gwita kuona Lake Eris na area bio Mount Kenya, bakwenda gwita kuona Lake Nkonga nuntu nira ri nyanyucine, bakwenda gwita to man tunde bagithiuruka here and there, they will be leaving money for us. It's a very big price kile ba utu ja Meru na I would say that somehow Meru is now strategically placed. Nteto hiji chio ndajiteja atu automatically. Somehow Meru is strategically placed na that strategic placement ya Meru got to attract a lot of goodies. I believe our economy is going to grow bigger and better. You know, where there is unity, God commands a blessing. Bini dali mo bya murungu biraba utuja Meru nunto bwathiri to ambirite wa attract. Nankarange choka iria kairi politics will come and go. People compete. Tena abu akana rojo kana egoro kana echo people compete. No, I can tell you without fear of any contradiction. Ndebene angavana 2027 iketha ina kirindi gikingi muno kamburia bau. Iketha ina kirindi gikingi muno. Gikingi. That does not mean turekeria twagethiri.
Gikingi? I doubt.
We inyabaga kuruka bairu ate baba ingi. So kirindi gikingi ikaromba ite.
Yeah.
That does not mean disunity. Kiwa gige twenda amiru bagwate. Ara koina thiri ni itharimo biejaga. Thiri rio nteto cia competition, you know. Inya uni na ugo tukanenkerwa ngugi imwe turita Edward. One of us will be better than the other. So gukenya gutuika ugo ti better no batere gucindano na ugwe witwe ungi beteje. Na kira gitumaga tumenya uria beta kiri ungi ikuba nenkera opportunity. Ugo kai opportunity iro tumba kumenya no uri kumwaga kiri ungi. For example na arwa tokero to rank governors bamiru baraba na governor. We can be able to rank between Munya, Kiraito, Kawera, na Ntoithinkia na Arua. No to baba na barana nenkera opportunity reko. So without an opportunity, you cannot be able to rank someone. Lakini papa, we can be able to rank them. So competition tikeja na ikuruke.
But your boss vai.
Now, automatically, it goes without saying.
How?
You will. My friend.
Breaking news kana?
Mtero breaking news. But he will. No to mwananchi no mwire thidi ate. Ndio kafai. But ile uninkugaga. My major point is whether there is competition or not, there is what we call unity of purpose. Ya kuona miru karibu wega. Tuaja tuketa na ara mbere tuchindane. Kuchindana tissue. Tukachindana na ara bwambere. But for the purposes of kuona a better meru.
Yeah.
For the purposes of careerize a greater meru, then you need to unite.
Competition is not enmity, right?
Competition is not enmity.
Yeah.
To champion meru tuike meru hospital tuike level 6. To together. Whether we compete or not, that's a plus for the community. To champion to the twin and golf kira bajo jo meru. Whether we compete in the future or not, that's a plus for the community. To champion ya strip chair to chiakwe, that's a plus for the community. To champion isio airport erugoke. To wadanirete, that's a prize for the community. Issues chiawe is better than the other one. Tikeja to akinyage guchindana.
Wow. Tukiregeria AUCELIU. Maybe your parting shot. Kiribara bonde ba utuona TV na Kenya online.
So the opportunity je kwera Meru. I'm happy that Meru is now strategically placed. That today we are able to speak from a point of unity, from a point of ngwatanero, from a point of theory, from a point of calmness. Dire mochemero jora idito na state house jo Amiru betere bagwatanirete without any issues. And na tongeria betu mpachokire nkadhu nyingi muno para karande guru para gwatanira maraira issues ira ngavana batere gwita kwa articulate on behalf ya Amiru bonde. And from that, I am telling you for the first time, michemano ni ditu engi na national government, but this meeting ya dithikira the other day, imochemano jutiarite machiara jama ingi muno. Narua most of the projects ira chia kwami contractors are back on the ground. I have been personally on ground in radio rukite muno. Na ingira kweja example the other day ngakwira barabara ere Coca-Cola. Narua already nirigite kuri kapetwa some part ira yari kuthuka completely. Ara kitha kugwetu contractor oga gwakandagacha ugeta ndera bokariene contractor oga gaitithitie barabara ikinyaga koi ukauna Southimenti barabara ere rubiri already ira ni gwatite kinyarwa kithirune in drainage system da ibarikio ugeta barabara nyingi ndirona kinya aja Northimenti thai tukwaria kajira kara kagwita na cibitari bwa nyunjure kara kakwina na nyuma ya ndera bomochari aga gwikirwa rami tujira tu twingia jo Meru twina contractor. That's a very big plus kire pa uto ya Meru, and it is something that we need to grab for. Na tukachokia nkatho tukera murungu jokio kumio nuntu for the first time at least there is something to smile about. Na mbere mumeru ndaugo untera uga ndebene ora tukathithia issues tia ndebe tukaibanga twakinya ndebene ni unkarange choka area, but today ne gitara yanguge itu appreciate iwe kuthithwa muchemeno jora ijo ambere fruits. Yes.
Wow. Thank you AUCELIU no tubo kuona kanya kwa kiri mubango yo. Asante sana. Kiri bora bonde bora kiri mubango yo ndibora kidati babu tutethera tu na mubango yo na tutethera tu na Waru TV. Tutethera mbere kumede mantu kiri mitando yetu kiri ntoche tu cha 7:30 na 9:30. You have a blessed day. Bitwa mutembe Edward.